Hey everybody, so today I'm here to tell you guys what breast pumps I recommend. Now, I tried to film with my new glasses on, but you couldn't even see my eyeballs. The glare was so bad. So I just wanted to mention a couple things. First off, mostly that there is no one size fits all with breast pumps. That's something that I've kind of come to my own conclusions about after trying so many of them. If you haven't checked out any of the reviews that I have for the pumps I'm about to mention, plus some others, I will have my entire playlist linked down below for you guys. But I've tried several pumps from several different companies. They all feel different. They all seem to do different things. I have to do different things to make them work for me. So when people ask me what the best breast pump is, I wish that more people understood that it's like a car, you know, it's gonna be a preference type of thing. You're gonna have to try it out and feel it out. Even though I entirely understand the entire reason people ask that question is because breast pumps are so expensive, they are such a big deal to make, and there's not some kind of system in place where you can find the one that works best for you, which kind of sucks. I'm sure that there's going to be new breast pumps coming out, but as of right now, the date that this video is going live, this is what I stand by. So if this ever changes, if I have new favorites that aren't on this list, I will definitely keep you guys updated, but as of right now, this is how I feel. Definitely check with your insurance to see if they will cover the cost of a breast pump for you. Some will even cover the cost of renting a hospital grade pump, but I think you might need your OB's prescription for that, but definitely look into it either way. When I am recommending pumps, I really do like to talk to moms first, especially if they've tried other pumps, because what they liked or disliked about a different pump might tell me which one they might like. So that kind of leads me into my next point, which is if you can afford to or you have the ability to rent a hospital grade pump, I would definitely advise that. The hospital grade pump that I have personally used and loved the most is the Medela Symphony pump. I feel like it is super gentle. I've had very short-lived experiences with it because my insurance doesn't cover me renting one. It's really expensive where I live to rent one as well. So I've only used it while I was in the hospital after my C-sections with both girls. So I was using it around the clock for about 5 days each, and I really loved that pump. I didn't have any complaints about it. I felt like it offered a nice subtle hum. It was very gentle. It's really seriously heavy, but I totally recommend it if you can get a hospital grade pump. Now, a lot of people get confused on words like hospital grade, closed system, open system, one user, stuff like that. So really quickly, I just want to explain that a hospital grade pump is going to have pistons inside of it. It's going to be super heavy, and the reason that they are so expensive and most of the time take a prescription to cover the cost to rent, or they cost money to rent, is because they're so well made. They're supposed to be for more than one mom. They're supposed to last so long. I saw one at a children's hospital that literally looked like it should be an antique, but it was completely running fine. So that's what hospital grade means. There are pumps on the market right now that some even on this list claim to be hospital grade, and they're not because they don't have pistons in them. Closed system is an entirely different thing than hospital grade. Closed system means that they have something in place with their tubing, their connectors, whatever, that it will stop milk flow from getting to the motor. Not all pumps offer this, so that would make it an open system, but it will be a closed system if they have some kind of mechanism that will stop that backflow of milk getting to the motor. Those mechanisms being stuff like the Spectra backflow protectors. Lansinoh has a mechanism fixed on top of their connectors itself. Medela with the Sonata now has a mechanism in place as well. So different pumps do it different ways, but there are several on the market that are closed system, and it's just more hygienic. Now, single user and multiple user pumps just mean that exactly. A single user pump is something that companies intend to only be used by one mom. Multiple users obviously being the hospital grade pumps, to which they can be used by multiple moms. Now, that being said, I know moms who buy and sell used pumps. I have nothing against that. I've done it myself. I think that if the companies didn't want to market for it, you should make your pumps more affordable, or all insurances should cover the cost of a breast pump. Now, as this title suggests, it's pumps that I personally recommend based off of my personal experience. So not everybody's going to agree. There's going to be pumps that people hate that the next person loves, and vice versa. So try to keep that in mind. What works for one mom isn't going to work for the next, and the best you can do is just give her your recommendation. First and foremost, if you have sensitive nipples, I would definitely recommend the Spectra S2 or the S1. The difference between the two are very minute. The S1 has a battery pack included. It's also blue. The S2 does not have the battery pack, and it's pink. That's the only differences between them. I would say the S2 is now covered on probably about 90% of insurances, and the S1 is normally like an upgrade fee if it's offered at all. Kind of depends on how much you're going to pay, if it's worth the upgrade fee, in my opinion. If it's more than $50, I would skip it. You can get a car adapter, an external battery pack. It might be a little bit more bulky that way, but I personally don't think the S1 is worth that much more than the S2. Now, the reason I like this for sensitive nipples is because the Spectra is very, very gentle. It doesn't have a super high suction. I would say it's moderate to low suction at best. Now that doesn't mean it's a bad thing, and if you know how to use your pump correctly, you can still empty correctly with it. It just might take longer. It also has like this hum or vibration to it, which adds to it being super, super gentle. It just feels really nice, so that's the reason why I recommend it for people who might have sensitive nipples. Now, if you're a mom who needs more suction, I would definitely recommend the Medela Pump and Style Advanced. The reason why I love the Pump and Style Advanced for moms who need more suction is because it does exactly that. The Pump and Style Advance is a very, very strong pump. It's the reason why some people dislike it, because it's a little too harsh, but at the same time, there's plenty of people who love it. I used it my entire EP journey with Sophie. I have used it here and there with Remy, and I have no complaints about it, although I can see going back and forth between different pumps why some people do feel like it's a little bit harder on the nips than most. I think lubing your flange is definitely a huge thing that could help that. Now, what I mean by that is when you have your flange, don't mind this setup, but if you go ahead and you just lube this part right here with coconut oil, if you don't have coconut oil, you could use something like olive oil until you get some, but basically that's going to help it be a little bit more smoother. That might make it feel a little bit better. It also has more of a mechanical pull. It doesn't have a vibration or a hum. It's literally which for some people that's not going to be a problem. Like I said, I used it for 10 plus months with Sophie. No problem whatsoever with it. So if you've used the Pump and Style Advance and it doesn't seem like it's enough suction for you, it's not stimulating you enough to get you empty, I would definitely recommend either the Medela Sonata or the Ardo Calypso. Both of those breast pumps definitely pack a super, super suction on them, but I do want users to kind of be aware of that. I definitely wouldn't start off with either of those pumps if you've never used one before, but for someone who has used the Pump and Style Advance and just felt like it was lacking, those two are great options. Now, the last category is for those people who are maybe first-time moms, have never used a pump, or they don't seem to fall into either of the first two categories, and my personal favorite is the Lansinoh Smartpump. I absolutely love this pump. I can't say enough good things about it. You guys have seen me talk about it a million different times, and it's because it's so awesome. I feel like it's just kind of the best of every single world. It does have a high suction on it. It can also go down pretty low. It has different modes, which means it offers different frequencies. So if you like a more drawn out pull on your nipple, it can do that. Or if you like a more rapid pace to it, it can do that as well. It has two-phase expression. It also has that hum and vibration to it. So I feel like it is super gentle as well. Also, this is the first breast pump being covered by insurance companies that is a smart pump. It can sync to your smartphone via Bluetooth. You can track your pump sessions. It can remind you. It does a whole bunch of cool stuff. Like I said, I've reviewed all these pumps. I will have them all linked down below if you want more in-depth information on them. I also want to mention the Lansinoh Signature Pro also kind of falls into this group. It is the same exact motor as the smart pump. It just doesn't offer the smart kind of capabilities. So if you see that on your insurance list, or you find one in store and it's maybe a little bit cheaper than the smart pump, I definitely recommend that as well. It's what I used for the first, I want to say 7-8 months of my EP journey with Remy. Obviously a little bit on and off testing all those other breast pumps, but it is the one that I kept going back to. I was in love with it. Emptied me well. I am a massive oversupplier. I have a hard time emptying. I have a hard time keeping clogs at bay, getting clogs out. I've suffered through mastitis, and this pump has just gotten me through all of it, and I highly recommend it. But that is everything that I have for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I get this question asked a ton, so I thought it was about time that I make a video on it. I think it took me so long because I always felt like something new was up and coming out, and I feel like we have a little bit of a pause finally. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.